30s, I'm being nice. I'm a young buck. I am. And also, I would just like to say there's nothing wrong with getting old. There's nothing wrong with aging. I'm really looking forward to my 30s. Just saying. Dude, sometimes I literally just yesterday, I was like, damn, wait. People who are my age will probably feel the same way. Okay, ready? Lock in. It is crazy to me that we look back on, for example, high school, and we have such like large memories. Like those memories are during our formative years. But when you think about it, we are just the ripe age of 16. We are so baby. Like that is such a baby number. But now that I'm 27, I'm like, oh my God, it's only been 10 years after that. And it's just crazy to think about the life that you've lived when you were a teenager and how I think a lot of people like look for that feeling again of being a kid. And now that I'm 27, I'm like, oh yeah, I technically am like looking for that feeling again. But it's crazy that I was only 16 when I think about those memories. Does that make sense? I'm like, oh my God, like that is so young, because even now I'm so young and I'm 27 and back then I was 16. That's baby. That's a baby. And now I'm 27 and eventually, hopefully I'll be 37 and hopefully eventually I'll be 47. And that's cool. Like I think about how much I've changed. And I was talking to Sean about this the other day, just the idea of, like, I don't think we talk to old people enough. Granted, there are some, everyone's a product of their time, but I'm like, wisdom is that is a valuable thing that you only get from living and experiencing things. And I'm like, I feel like there are moments in my life, for sure, where I've gone through the motions or I hear people saying these things, but it doesn't click until I've experienced it. And it's like you try to pass on the wisdom to people, but I don't know. I'm really just blah, 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 blah. But it just reminded me like, holy f***, can you guys just remember when you were 16 and think about where you are now and how much you've changed? It's crazy. I am a professional yapper. It's my job, baby. I was happier at 16. I was technically... I don't want to say that about myself because basically I think being an adult is really hard in the sense of like there's a lot of more responsibilities and you just all of your brain power goes to taking care of yourself, or at least a lot of my brain power goes to like taking care of myself and like trying to set myself up and but it is hard. Don't get me wrong, it is hard. And I think that's why everyone looks back on their teenage years so fondly, because you're kind of like in la la land. You're in a really good place where somebody else is taking care of you. It's not all like dependent on you. In other words, I want to be a nepo baby. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I think that everyone should be a nepo baby and the world would be happy if we could all be nepo babies. But actually, I think about like, oh, damn, who's the happiest individual in the world? It has to be a fucking nepo baby, like genuinely. Because I think like, okay, let's go back to our roots, all right? Like the idea of humans in a village where you're like taking care of one another because it's just the way that it is. It's just the village and there's a hierarchy, of course, but whatnot. And if you're weird, you get exiled. Okay, great, whatever. But I'm like, I bet you that there is something there. Like the sense of community that takes care of you. Like you have a baby, there's a lot of people, yada yada yada. But then we split off and everyone's like, I'm gonna climb the corporate ladder. Anyways, I don't have a complete thought. I think if I was to be reincarnated as something, I would literally be like, I would like to be a nepo baby. I think if you were to ask me, Jodi, what do you want to be when you grow up? A nepo baby. Like if I got to choose my life, I think that's the way. Unfortunately, with the current with the current system, the village corporate ladder.